everybody. Sorry for our tardiness. We were having some technical difficulties, but it has been a wild and crazy day. It's also storming pretty hard outside. I know you guys can't see it from where you are, but I can see it out from where I am and then also behind me. So it's been storming. I would also like to apologize for not posting a lot of food related items over this past week, but we have been working really hard. Well, Andy has been working really hard on getting our new island taken care of. He's been getting that all sanded down and he's been doing a lot of woodworking, so I'm sure you guys have been seeing a lot of the photos that he's been posting on the Chicken and Nugget Facebook page. So that's sort of what we've been really focusing on over the last week or two. Not to mention that we're really pushing hard to get it installed, hopefully before Thanksgiving. So, you okay?
Yeah.
You almost sat on a cat?
Almost killed the chicken.
Don't kill the chicken, she's our mascot. Oh, so anyway, welcome you guys. We are here, we are live, and it's Bridget with Chicken and Nugget. Literally the chicken is there with Andy in his lap. So, fun stuff happening today. We are going to make pasties. Now, these are not in the traditional English sense of a pasty. These are basically a savory hand pie. So I'm going to a party after this, later on this evening, and I'm going to be making a vegan hand pie because a lot of the people at the party are vegan, and so am I, and I would like to be able to eat these, but I'm only going to make small little mini hand pies. What's going on, babe?
No.
Oh, okay, you had a look like I need to tell you something.
No, I got like 200 things going on, and none of them want to work.
Oh, okay. All right. But you have Delilah, so.
I have Delilah.
You have good company. So anyway, so I'm going to be making a savory hand pie today. And you can call these a pasty. You can call these like Jamaican meat patties, I think is what they might call them. So there's a lot of different names for them throughout the world. Good gracious.
You.
And
Go. There.
sorry, there's cats. It's craziness here. I think. What's up, babe?
Oh, Adrian wants to know if Andy does word work, can I borrow him?
What now?
So Adrian, viewer, wants to know if Andy does woodwork, can I borrow him?
Oh, Adrian, it depends on where you live and what you need him for, because I personally am requiring his services here at my house, at our house, really.
Every minute of every day.
Hey now, you're barely home. So Adrian, you may be able to borrow him depending on where you are and and how long. But yeah. So we are going to work on a vegan hand pie. I've actually got part of my filling in the June right now. What I did is because it's fall, I did some root vegetables. I did celery, onion, and fennel, and I sauteed those in some olive oil. And then just to keep my potatoes nice and like crisp, I went ahead and I tossed them in the June. I roasted them up in the June with some olive oil, salt, and pepper. And that's really what it all is right here. So to make my hand pies a little bit different, I am going to make a gravy to pour over all of my vegetables because, let's be honest, gravy is delicious, at least in my opinion. I love it. I love gravy. I think I truly am like an Irish girl. I mean, I am an Irish girl, but I think I truly would have done fairly well over in Ireland because I love gravy and hand pies, and I know those are European things. So, what's up, babe? You giggling?
Let's see. Liz says if it's crust with filling, it's pie. And then let's see. Bella says hello. She can't wait to meet us next week.
Hi, Bella. Hi, Liz.
Mary Jerome's on watching.
Hi, Mary.
If you guys can all give a share, that would be hugely helpful.
Yeah.
Just share the link on Facebook. Oh wait, it's cool.
Well, I'm gonna get started on the gravy.
Do your thing.
All right, so in my saute pan, or my sauce pot, I guess is really what it is. In my saucepan, my sauce pot, I have 2 tablespoons of, I'm using vegan butter, but you can make gravy at home. So it's super simple. I know there's like the concern about the lumps and, you know, cornstarch versus flour and all of those things. This is my tried and true gravy recipe. It is basically a roux, which is equal parts flour and butter with vegetable broth. I use vegetable stock. I like to use a really dark and rich. You can see how dark and rich this is. I like to use this. Oh, that's getting a little, it's getting away from me a little bit. Let's turn that down a smidge. All right. Woo. All right. So I've got my butter obviously melted. Yikes. I'm going to sprinkle in my flour. And I'm gonna whisk these 2 together. And it's gonna clump up a little bit, and you don't wanna be scared of that, but you wanna kind of cook that out. You wanna cook that flour, that raw flour out, or the flavor, I guess, of the raw flour. Turn that down a little bit more. This thing is pretty aggressive. Heat-wise. All right. So, the thing about gravy is that you can't get too far away from it. You sort of have to keep your eye on it. But it is very easy to make. So I'm just going to put a little bit, of my broth, my stock in there. And I'm going to add a little bit more. And I know it looks clumpy right now, but it'll all smooth out, I promise. I promise. All right, see now it's how it's starting to loosen up a little bit and really look like gravy. Now, since this is going in a pie, I don't want it to be too loose. So I'm just gonna add the last little bit of stock that I have into my pot. Now, if I were making this for Thanksgiving, which I have before, by the way, I would be using a lot more butter and a lot more flour and a lot more liquid. But since I'm just doing a very small batch, I'm just doing a single batch, 1 batch of pie crust into little bite-sized pies. I'm not too worried about that. So I just seasoned that with some salt. I'm gonna let my whisk go for a second so I can put in some freshly cracked black pepper. And it is starting to bubble, as you see. Just gonna whisk that pepper in. And I'm just gonna let it thicken up a little bit more.
Do you know if Jinx ever got that pumpkin?
I think I saw a picture of Jinx with a pumpkin. So it's possible that he got a pumpkin.
Well, you saw him got a pumpkin. Did you attack it?
What's that?
Did you attack it? You know?
I have no idea about what Jinx did with his pumpkin. I was not at the sanctuary yesterday. I was actually at the sanctuary on Monday when the pumpkins arrived, but I was not there yesterday to see who did what with their pumpkins. Now I know that Manny made it in the Tampa Bay Times. A picture of Manny with his pumpkin made it to Tampa Bay Times. All right, so this is looking nice and thick. And it's looking really beautiful. Like it's gonna be just this super delicious gravy. So I'm gonna turn this off. Move this out of the way. And then I'm gonna take this off the heat to cool. And set that to the side. All right. will you unplug this for me, please?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Sure.
Oh, perfect timing.
Got it.
All right, so my potatoes are done. I'm gonna grab them out of the June. And that's are nice and crispy and golden, and they'll be delicious in my pie filling. So again, I've got, in this bowl here, I've got my onion, my celery, and my fennel. And then I made that beautiful gravy, which I'm just gonna kind of stir a little bit, whisk up a little bit more. And then I'm gonna shift these potatoes kind of out of my way. And I'm gonna...
Apparently Duchess gave Pumpkin a grand tour of her enclosure. Jasmine played with the pumpkin.
Yay!
Let's see. Kathy Ryan says, so this is brown gravy. My son-in-law likes this.
Yeah.
But I can make country gravy.
I believe country gravy is the white gravy that you use with sausage and biscuits, if I am not mistaken. And that is delicious gravy.
The red or the white?
Well, there's a red eye gravy, which has coffee in it.
Oh, I was talking about clam chowder.
I know, sweetie. I know. All right. Let's see. I'm going to move this out of the way because I need this space. So I'll be right back. I'll just put it here. I'll get this out of the way.
All right, we're going to go live on Facebook at the same time.
Woohoo! All right. Wipe that down. All right, so now I'm going to get my pie crust out and get that working. So I'll be right back. I need my pie crust. Get my pastry cloth. Alrighty. Alright, so I have my pastry cloth here.
I am not losing my mind. Not losing my mind.
Oh, sweetie. You losing your mind a little bit?
Oh, I'm all over the place over here.
Yeah.
Let's see, any questions? No, I got 13 people on right now.
Hey, there is someone making noise in the laundry room. Can you double check just to make sure that everybody's okay in there, please?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. So what are you doing? What's this, what are you breaking out over there?
Well, this is my pastry cloth. It belonged to my grandmother, and it is basically made up of linen, and it is seasoned quite well. Seasoned from multiple uses, many uses. And that way, hey sweetie, there's something going on. Can you just check, please? Sorry.
What are you doing? We good?
He got so excited he turned the lights off on me.
There you go.
Alright, so right now I'm just flattening out, I'm rolling out my pie crust. And I'm just going to make, I only have one batch of pie crust. I ran out of shortening. Crisco really is what I use. So I'm just working on my pie crust right now. And what you want to do is you want to go from the middle outwards. Until you find the thickness that you like, but you also want to make sure that you're keeping everything floured, so that way it is loose, it doesn't stick, and I am going to keep my pin floured as well. And just roll from the inside out.
Let's see, why are you using a cloth? Bella wants to know.
Oh, Bella, this is just my mom's technique. It's the way my grandmother used to do it. The cloth is really nice for me. I prefer it because it allows me to kind of keep an eye on there's George in the background, sorry guys. It allows me to keep an eye on how much space I'm using. It also prevents my dough from sticking to the kitchen counter. But also when I am doing this for actual pies, like putting it in a pie pan, I'll show you. It's actually really nice because I can just grab my crust right up off my pastry cloth, and it's beautiful. It just rolls right up. So that's just the way my mom has always done it. It's the way my grandmother did it. This is her pastry cloth, my grandmother's. And so it's just the way the women of my family have always prepared pie crust. All right, so these are kind of thin, but that's not bad because it gives me a little bit more surface area to work with. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my ring mold, my cutter. And I'm going to cut out my first piece of dough. Now again, these are small. They're gonna get a very small bite, but this is just gonna be for 1 or 2 bites to share with my friends because we're gonna do like a potluck. So I don't have a lot of people that I have to feed this as a main dish, but if you were making this as a main course, say for a lunch or a dinner, you could definitely do bigger portions. You could cut this in half or in diagonal. You could cut it into quarters, and this would make many hand pies, or 3 or 4 hand pies if you make them bigger. This is just going to be a smaller version. All right, so now that I'm getting ready for my hand pies to be made, I'm going to very carefully add my potatoes. Oops. And the beautiful part of these is that you can make them however you want. If you wanted to do a beef filling, you could do that. If you wanted to do chicken and mushroom, you could do that. You could do sausage. It really is just whatever you want it to be. There's really no rules as far as what you have to put in here. This is just something I kind of thought up in my head as I was laying awake, not sleeping. Andy's been getting up early in the mornings since he's been home here, so I've been getting up early as well. I'm kind of a light sleeper, so the weeks that he's home, he gets up early because he has to travel to his different dealerships. And so since he wakes up, I also wake up. Not that it's a bad thing, it just sometimes I have a hard time getting back to sleep. And
hey, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
April Townsend's on. Nope, that's an Elisa question.
What's the Elisa question?
April Townsend wanted to know. She said, "Hey, Elisa, did you see my question that I posted about a shirt suggestion?"
Oh.
And then, yeah. There we go.
Awesome. All right. So I'm trying not to make these too wet because they are going to go into the pie, but
Can you push your bowl forward just a little bit?
yes, I can. Give me just one moment.
There we go.
I'm trying to find the right gravy to root vegetable ratio.
Gravy to root vegetable ratio.
It's a precarious situation to be in.
Hey, Kenny. Hey, Laura. Click the link in the description and head on over to YouTube. That's where the party is.
Oh, there's a YouTube party?
Yes.
Head on over to the YouTube party.
Yeah, we're on YouTube and we're streaming on Facebook. If you would show.
Okay, all right. All right, just a little bit more gravy because I love gravy. I really do love gravy. It's super delicious. All right, I feel like this is gonna be tasty. So.
You're making vegan ones first?
I'm only making vegan ones. Because most of my peeps are vegan tonight. Or a majority of them are. The hostess is, at least, so. Figure. Plus, if you're not a vegan, you can still eat these, unless you're like my dad and you don't eat vegetables. Alright, I'm just grabbing a plate. So that I can start building these. And I'm just going to grab a little bit of water. All right, the water is going to help me seal up my pie crust. A fork. Is there something else I needed? Did I need anything else, babe? Yes.
Sanity.
All right. I'm going to do about a tablespoon of filling. I'm going to do a scant tablespoon, which means a small tablespoon of filling. And these are just, again, these are going to make little bite-sized pies. And the nice thing about this is that I can just wet this with my finger, and I just need water. And that's the glue that puts my pies together. So let's see, this might be a little bit full. Oh, it is a little bit full. I've got some filling coming out one side.
Sweet. Somebody commented that our counter is very clean.
Oh, well, thank you.
Let's see. Kathy Ryan wants to know, have you ever done air fried okra in June?
I have not done air fried okra, Kathy. I have never actually prepared okra in any way, shape, or form in my kitchen before. But I am going to air fry these cute little hand pies in the June. All right, so when you do any sort of pie that's enclosed, you definitely want to make sure that you puncture the top so that way the steam can escape. All right, so there's one. I'm not going to lie, I have a small intimidation of okra. I don't know why, but I do.
Bella wants to know, is there a difference with water or white egg?
There isn't, no. You can use either, Bella. You can use either water, you can use egg white, you can use milk. Really just any liquid that will help act as a glue on your pie crust is perfect. This is just easy for me, and water is vegan. So that is why I went with that one. But yeah, you could use milk, you could use egg, you could use a nut milk or an oat milk, whatever you prefer. Now you can use the egg wash, especially if you're looking to do some sort of beautiful glaze over the top of your hand pie. You can definitely do like an egg wash, and it doesn't even need to be an egg white. It can be the egg yolk and the white whisked together, kind of brushed over the top. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little oat milk after I'm done getting these set up, and I'm going to brush that over the top and then just top it with a little bit of flaked salt, which is just gorgeous. my kitchen is not, my counter is no longer as clean as it was. Got some debris. But speaking of our kitchen counter, if you guys haven't been keeping up on our Chicken and Nugget Facebook page, check it out when we're done here. Andy has been working hard on this beautiful slab of poplar that we bought from the mill where we like to go. He goes to get the wood for cutting boards there, and we were there a couple weeks ago getting some wood for a custom ordered cutting board, and we saw this beautiful like giant slab of poplar, and we went ahead and picked it up, and it is turning out to be a really great investment. It's actually going to end up being our new kitchen island, which I am very excited about. And we're hoping to have it done by Thanksgiving. Do we have any other questions about food or anything?
Let's see, lots of cat and pumpkin stuff. Let's see, we had Bella asked that question a bit ago. Okay, and then sorry, that was just a general question about the ice water thing.
That's okay.
And then Karen wants to know what you're making. Karen Nash.
Hey, Miss Karen, I am making vegan savory hand pies. They're called pasties in the UK. These are made with onion, celery, roasted potato, fennel, and then I made a brown gravy to kind of coat my veg, because I like gravy. And I figured that would kind of give it a little pizzazz. So that's what is being made right here in the Chicken and Nugget kitchen. Because in my opinion, you really can't go wrong with pie crust. My mom likes to take these leftover pie crust scraps and sprinkle them with cinnamon and sugar and bake them off and give them to my dad because that makes him happy.
Hey, so we are in a watch party in the Lakeland Food Group right now.
Oh, cool.
Who are you and why would we bother broadcasting that?
Hey, Lakeland Food Group. My name is Bridget, and I am a Lakelander. I like to shop local, and I'm currently working on mostly, we focus on predominantly vegan items, but that doesn't mean we're vegan specific. My goal in teaching people how to cook is to open them up to different food experiences, which may be vegan items, but I also offer you different options on how you can make things that I'm preparing into an omnivore or a vegetarian, basically to meet any dietary lifestyle that you have or that your friends or family have. My husband is not vegan. I am. But I like to make sure that when I'm preparing food, I give people different options so they can understand that vegan food can be just as easy as omnivore food, and it can be just as delicious, but it's not the only thing that we offer here at Chicken and Nugget. So, if you are a Lakelander who's interested in kind of supporting a local or a fellow Lakelander, and you like food, and you like learning how to prepare food, that's one of the things I'm working towards. It's just kind of teaching people how to make food, and really delicious food. Again, we're vegan centric, but that doesn't mean that it's the only thing I talk about, and it's not the only thing that I have prepared in the past. So a lot of our fans and followers and a lot of our friends can also tell you that it's not just vegan food. I've made a lot of different things, but I am sort of more vegan focused. It's an emphasis on vegan food, but not the only thing I do. As I was explaining just a minute ago, when you make these savory hand pies. You can fill them with ground beef, you can fill them with chicken, you could fill them with sausage. You could do a vegetarian style where you make something like, ooh, you know what would be good? Would be a caprese with tomato and fresh mozzarella and basil. That would be a delicious savory hand pie. Oh, yeah. If Andy Axter is watching, I feel like that would be right up his alley.
He had time for 2 seconds and said he had an Xbox tournament.
Oh, yeah. He's been doing that a lot. But yeah, this is mostly just helping people learn how to make food in a step-by-step environment with, you know, just sort of a friendly face. We've sort of become a nice little fun community around here. And giving people different options, because I realize that I have to meet people where they are. And my family is not entirely vegan, so I like making food for people. So that's a little bit about Chicken and Nugget. I hope you guys will join us in the future.
Alright. Will we be doing a blog post on this one, or doing a recipe?
Yeah, I'm going to do a blog post probably early next week with a recipe. I just have been in the kitchen all day today, and I haven't really had time to sit down at my computer and write anything out. Truly, I basically got up and I started in the kitchen, and I've been in this general area since about 10 o'clock this morning. I mean, I fed the cats and I had breakfast, but that's, other than that, I have been working here all day.
Alright, so April had 3 cool questions. She said, what's Andy's favorite food, or your favorite food to make?
If I had to guess, I would say that Andy's favorite food is this, like, I feel like this is a how well do I know my spouse question. It's a test. I would say if I had to guess Andy's favorite food, I would say either spaghetti and meatballs or lasagna. And my favorite food to make, as labor intensive as it is probably pie. All different kinds of pie. I like to make pie. But I really just truly do love making food, so I don't know that I have a favorite food to make, but I really do love making pie. For some reason, it connects me to my mom and my grandmother, and there's so many different options that you can make with pie. I mean, I don't know how many times we've done pie on Chicken and Nugget alone, but I know that it's been at least 3. It just, I don't know, there's something about pie that, again, I think it connects me to my mom and makes me feel close to her, even though we're hundreds of miles apart.
Oh.
It's true.
Oh, that's cute. All right. So did you explain what you made in the veggie stuff there?
I did, but I can say it all over again if you want me to.
Sure.
All right, so in my veggie filling, I have potatoes that I roasted in the June. I have fennel, onion, and celery that I sauteed. And then I made a quick brown gravy, which was equal parts butter and flour, along with vegetable stock, salt, and pepper. And that's it. And that's it. I think when it comes to food, it's a great way to kind of connect with people. Like I said, it makes me feel like I'm with my, or it makes me, you know, feel connected to my mom, even though she's in Wisconsin and I'm here in Florida. But I think it's a way that we share part of ourselves. You know, we give of ourselves when it comes to food, and truly sharing your love with people through food, I think, is one of the best gifts you can give. Now, that's just me personally. I know there are some people that don't feel that same way, but I just sort of feel like sharing food with people is a great way to connect. It's a great way to show people how much you love and care about them. You know, a nice cooked meal can just be so comforting. When I was back in Wisconsin last month, I think it was. Yeah, it was last month. I spent the majority of the day in my mom's kitchen making food for my little brother. He had broken his leg. My poor little brother. He had broken his leg, and so sort of just to kind of support him and let him know how much I cared about him and that I was there for him, I made a huge amount of food for him.
Let's see. Katie says hi, Norwood.
Hi, Kate.
Corrine Hobson says hi.
Hi.
And let's see. Laura Kelly says hello.
Hello, Laura.
Kimmy says hi.
Hello, hello.
And you actually had to hop back on and then said he had to go again. All right. If you're watching on Facebook, click the YouTube link in the chat. Come on over. That's where the multicam stream is. And click subscribe. Follow along.
I'm going to try to get a couple more of these done, even though I have limited amounts of space. And you can only work your pie crust so often or so much until it just stops cooperating with you. So I think I can get at least one more of these. Lucky number 13 coming up. But yeah, I made my little brother some food while I was home, and it just, I don't know, it just solidified to me that he knew how much I cared about him. And I mean, he knows, obviously, but I think in our family, at least, in my family, food is one of the things that really is something we all share. We all think about food, we all talk about food, we all really like food, except my dad mostly uses food as just fuel, but that's how he's always been. But
Corrine Hobson said, turns into hard leather.
it does. It really is not very workable once you've overworked your pie crust. So I'm going to stop messing around with it, and I'm just going to try to get one more hand pie out of there. And I'm going to try to just boop, make that a little bit bigger. There we go. It's a little bit thick. All right, do we have any questions? I'm going to get these in the oven in just a minute, and that'll kind of be it. So if you guys have any questions about anything you've seen, anything you've heard today, let me know. If you just have general food related questions, I will answer them as best I can.
So, Kimmy has a really good idea here.
What's the idea?
On the Catterday walkabout, if we hit the $300 again, that Elisa does a dance. And I'm going to throw in that we put it out to a vote that is the viewer's choice of song.
Oh boy. I'm not getting involved with this one. This is between you and Elisa.
No, it's not, because you put me up for the last one.
Hey, I'm your wife.
You know what? It's my choice. Yeah, I did the dancing last.
Dude, you put me up for the one before that.
Sorry, it's Elisa's turn.
Yikes. Sorry, Elisa. I had nothing to do with this.
Let's see. Corrine Hobson, who's fairly new to us. Corine, head on over to YouTube.
Is it spelled Corrine?
Carene.
Oh, Corinne. Corinne or Corinne?
Corinne.
I think it's Corinne.
We're gonna go with Ms. Hobson. She asked if we had a cat.
We have many cats.
Yes, we have many cats. Let's see if we can find one here.
I don't know that anybody's up here, but we have many cats. Yes.
George.
If you get the chance, Ms. Hobson, could you? I'm gonna go with. You can tell me if it's pronunciation number 1 or number 2. So is it Corrine which is pronunciation number 1, or Corinne, which is pronunciation number 2. Let us know, please, because I like to pronounce people's names properly. It's just something that I like to do. How many do we have here? We have 6. We have 10. Okay. 10 little hand pies. Of course, now that we want to find a cat, we can't.
Who knows? We haven't known.
They're probably outside.
Let's see. Corinne has 5 cats.
Oh, yay!
And let's see.
Well, this is the perfect place for you then.
She says it's Kareen.
Kareen.
And 1.
Okay, pronunciation number 1. Kareen.
Yep, we got 26 people watching on Facebook and 15 on YouTube right now.
All right, so all the Facebook friends, hop on over to YouTube where you'll get to hang out and chat with people, and it's a little bit more social over on YouTube. So check us out on YouTube, guys.
Just click the link, it is in the chat. Okay, so we had a big jump in people. We had like 15 people join us since I got up a second ago.
Oh.
What are you making?
All right, guys.
And where can they get the recipes?
Okay. All right, so anybody who's looking for this recipe specifically, go ahead and head over to chickenandnugget.com. You'll click the subscribe button. You'll give us your first name and your email. This recipe is not out just yet. So I haven't gotten the recipe made up because I have not sat down at my computer at all today. So what I'm going to do is on Sunday, Monday, I'm going to go ahead and write everything up. We'll get you guys that recipe sent out to you on our email list. Go to chickenandnugget.com. Currently, this is a savory hand pie. So I went ahead and I did, this is our filling here. I'll show you guys. I made a savory hand pie filling. This is onion, celery, fennel, and roasted potatoes with a brown gravy that I made. Hi, sir. This is George. And then I went ahead and I just put this in a pie crust, and then I punctured the top because you want to make sure that steam comes out. And in just a second, I'm going to go grab a little bit of some oat milk and some flake salt and put that over the top. So I'll be right back. Hang out with the people, George. Say hi to them.
Oh, and your mom said please make sure you include the recipe for the gravy. One of the followers in the chat asked for that.
Oh, okay. I absolutely will.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Kareen says he's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. He's our old man. He's 15. And he's a Manx, which is why he doesn't have a tail. He was actually born that way.
Mary, did you lose your ability to text? Is this a thumb thing or a phone thing?
Oh, be nice to Mary. She's struggling.
Sorry. Go with the doors open.
Alright, so I'm just brushing these with a little bit of oat milk. You can do this with any nut milk you have. You can do this with, if you're a vegetarian or an omnivore, you can whisk up an egg and brush that over the top. I'll come a little bit closer because I know Andy always tells me I need to come closer.
Oh, up top, sorry.
Oh.
Now we're up top. Up top.
And he's back outside.
You guys bore me.
What? Oh, George. I thought somebody said that. I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
No, George.
Yeah. We're boring to George. All right, so I'm just using a little bit of flaked sea salt. Are you still on the camera up above or down below?
Yes, yes. So for all of you that are on Facebook, if you go over to YouTube, you can actually see the overhead cam and get a really good visual.
Oh, that's a great thing. So I'm just putting a little tiny bit of flaked sea salt over the top of these, just to kind of give them a little bit of texture, just a little bit of finish. And then they're gonna go in the oven. So if anybody has any last questions, this is the time to ask, because we are just about done here. Once these go in the oven, we're gonna call it for the night, because I've got a little bit of stuff I have to finish up in my kitchen not related to these before I head out to my gathering with my friends.
What? We got a life?
Yes, we have a life. I have a life outside the kitchen. It's shocking, I know.
What?
I know. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put these in the oven. I'm gonna set them in for about 20 minutes, check them, see how they're doing. The filling is already cooked already, so I just need to make sure that my crust is cooked all the way through. 15 to 20 minutes. I'm using the air fry setting on the June, but you can also bake these as well, which we'll all put in the instructions, so we will get you guys all squared away. So, any last minute questions, go ahead and hit me up now. Otherwise, I'm gonna get these squared away and we'll call it for the night.
Let's see. Kimmy says, bring back George.
I can't. He's left me.
Mary said it's a phone issue. Everybody says he's gorgeous.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I love him. He really is.
Gorgeous George. Gorgeous George. Love it.
Dude, it's a lot. That's a character from a movie.
I know it is.
Okay, I wanted to make sure you knew. Do you guys know what movie? Oh, this is fun. Does anybody know what movie Gorgeous George is from? If you know, type it up.
Oh, man. Let's see.
There's Marble.
So, let's see. For any of you joining late, click the YouTube link in the description. Head over to the YouTube channel. You'll be able to get the recipe.
Yep. Oh, she wants to be on camera now.
You want to be on camera too? Ugh.
Here, we'll move her kind of away from the oven. There she is.
You are soaked.
She was outside in this.
What have you been doing? Come here.
Oh, she just wants to hang with Dad. Nope, she doesn't.
She's like, I just want to shed all over you. You know, you wear a black shirt, and this is what happens.
It's just all in your beard.
She exploded. I picked
All right,
her up
get
and
away from the
poof.
food. All right, go check and see if anybody knows where Gorgeous George is from.
All right, where's Gorgeous George from? No. No, Curious George. Kimmy knows Curious George.
Nope.
No, let's see. So, 30 people on Facebook right now.
Nope.
All right.
It's from the movie Snatch.
That's right.
Guy Ritchie. Just in case anybody, yeah, Gorgeous George. All right, so if anybody has any last minute questions, you guys can go ahead and hit me up on my email. It's Bridget@chickenandnugget.com. We will go ahead and get this recipe out to you guys early next week. Like I said, once I've had a minute to sit down at my computer and get that squared away, we'll go ahead and get you guys that recipe. Also, look for this as a video, a pre-recorded video coming out at some point next week or the week after, because we are going to go ahead and do another filming of this. We'll do it as a pre-recorded video in a sort of closed studio type setting where I'm just working with the camera one-on-one and Andy is here with me, and then we'll get these made again. We'll show you how to do it step by step once more in case you missed the beginning part of the video.
And we have our YouTube webpage now.
And we have our YouTube webpage now. Yeah. So you guys can go to www.youtube.com/chickenandnugget. That's where you'll find us. And like I said, we'll go ahead and get this video recorded once more, just so that way you have the step-by-step without the exchange in between with our live guests, which we do love to do, but we also understand that some people just want the information directly. So we'll get that to you guys. Other than that, I think that's everything. I'm going to get these baked up. I'm going to get ready to go to my gathering. I think Andy is heading out to Guy's night tonight.
Spears.
So,
Lots of beers.
so we're parting ways for the evening, only to come back together tomorrow. You guys can find us live tomorrow on dailybigcat.com, where you can check us out at Big Cat Rescue in Tampa Bay, for those of you that might be new. Andy and I are volunteers at Big Cat Rescue in Tampa Bay, where we are home to abused and neglected exotic cats. We are a no-touch facility, but every Saturday, Andy and I walk around the sanctuary, introduce our new guests to many of our cats. We also share a lot of fun stories and tidbits with our regular friends who come to visit us every weekend on Daily Big Cat. And we also make sure that we reference and talk about what is called the Big Cat Public Safety Act, which I'll go ahead and give you guys that information right now. Big Cat Public Safety Act is ending the private ownership of exotic cats here in the United States. If you want more information about that, or you would like to reach out to your Washington representatives, go to bigcatact.com, or if you want to reach out to them directly, you go ahead and text the word cats to the number 52886, where you follow along the prompts. It's very simple. You just ask your representative to end the private ownership and abusive cub petting of exotic cats here in the United States, and that is HR 1380 I had it yesterday. I'm sorry, I forgot what the senator one is, but it's in the House and the Senate, so we need you guys to make those calls, get that bill passed. We're getting closer and closer, and we just need your help with that. So
and our local representative is not supporting it.
I told you that.
Everybody call.
Well, that's our local representative.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys have any questions about anything you saw or heard today, go ahead and message me at Bridget@chickenandnugget.com. You can send me that email, and I'll go ahead and get back to you as soon as I sit down at my computer, which will likely not be tonight. But I hope you guys have a great weekend. Stay safe, make delicious food for your family and friends, and we'll see you guys tomorrow at dailybigcat.com. Have a great night, guys. Bye.